Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Way of the Hunter. And in today's episode, we're going to be discussing the different rifles and what is the quote unquote best rifle and what rifles you should be using for what species. Now, again, guys, very simple. Any questions that you really have about weapons or anything like that, all the answers are right in the game, in the encyclopedia. I cannot stress this enough. So if we go to animals, right here it tells us tier 1, right? So that's a tier 1 animal. That means you hunt them with a tier 1 weapon. Tier 1 is European hare, Lister scalp, pheasant, wild duck, and Ross's goose. Then we have the tier 3. Tier 2, I really don't know what tier 2 would be. I haven't come across a tier 2 animal yet, and really the only animal I don't have on here is the European badger, and I would imagine they're a tier. I imagine they're a tier 3 along with the American badger. Let's see what else is on here. Yeah, there's no other animal that I haven't gotten. So tier 2 animals, they're not in the game yet. So tier 3, of course, the American badger, red fox, again, most likely the European badger as well. All right, so if you notice next to these animals, it tells you the recommended hit energy, right? So that's the recommended hit energy that the gun produces. So the European hare recommended hit energy is between 356 and 1068 joules. The Lister scalp, the ducks, the pheasants, the birds they're quite a bit less. American badger 612 to 1836 joules. Red fox is about the same thing. So these are tier 3 animals. You want to use a tier 3 weapon for these. Then we have tier 4, which would be your roe deer. Tier 5, this is a big list. This covers the bighorn sheep, the chamois, fallow deer, gray wolf, mouflon, mountain goat, mule deer, whitetail deer, wild boar. Okay, so that's all your tier 5 animals. Tier 6, that's going to include your American black bear, your brown bear, your elk, your moose, and your red deer. Now, eventually, I'm going to assume that they're going to give us higher tier levels, I hope, because if they add anything bigger to the game, if they add something like bison or Cape buffalo or water buffalo, they're going to need to be bigger. The brown bear, incidentally, I'm not too happy with this because if you look, the American black bear, mature, is going to weigh 443 to 881 pounds. And the brown bear is, wait a minute. Okay, the minimum weight on the brown bear is more, but the maximum weight should be more. Brown bear, they're quite a bit larger than black bear in real life, so I hope that's something they look into and they fix. But anyway, all of these animal species have a recommended joules to take them down. The red deer are between 2,600 and 4,500. The moose are the biggest in the game, 3,088 to 5,800. The elk are 2,900 to 5,500. So those are all your tiers. That's going to tell you what kind of weapon you need to take these out. So any tier 5 gun you can use on a tier 5 animal. Okay? Any tier 6 gun you can use on any tier 6 animal with the exception of the 338 for some reason, and we'll talk about that in a second. So if we go over to our firearms, right? Okay, so the Remington 783 is a 243 Win Mag, hunting tier 5. The Steyr Pro Hunter 2, the 7mm08 is a tier 5. The Steyr Pro Hunter is another 243 Win Mag, that's a tier 5. The Steyr Scout, that's a 223, that's a tier 3. The Steyr Monoblock, that's a 308 Win Mag, that's a tier 5. Then we have the SM12, that's a 300 Win Mag, that's a tier 6. Then we have the 22s, that's a tier 2, oddly enough. Then we have the 338 Lapua Mag, this is a tier 6. Now, I have no idea what the issue with this gun is, guys, but it's really hard to get a 5-star rating with this gun on a tier 6 animal. From a very long distance, you can, but from anything within, I would say, normal shooting range, saying that like 164 to like 300 yards or meters out, you're not going to get to 5-star. It's going to just obliterate everything. Then let's see here. We have this 22 LR. This is a tier 2. But these do work on tier 1 animals. Okay, so keep that in mind. The 22s, they will give you your hunting all your stars on a tier 1 animal. Grandpa's old rifle's a 30-30 win. That's the only tier 4 rifle in the game. Shotguns, as of right now, they're all tier 1 because they don't have any other ammo. You can't change to a slug or a birdshot or buckshot. They're just birdshot, so that's where we're at with that. So now what we're going to do, we're going to go to the hunting range here, and, you know, this is the 7mm08. And we're going to take a look at this first target here, 50 yards out. So if we put on the hunter sense and we aim, we can see that this gun at 50 yards has 3,508 joules. And this is actually, wait a minute. Okay, this is the 308. Yeah, this is the 308. This has 3,508 joules at 50 yards out. If I switch this to the 7M08, and these are both tier 5 hunting rifles. Okay, we aim that at 50. It's 3,025.7 joules. So this gun has less takedown power than the 308. The 308 has what I believe is the most takedown power of all of the tier 5 rifles. So right there, we just checked out the 7mm08 against the 308. I'm going to go back and I'm going to grab the both the 243s and test them out next. All right, and we're back. So now we have the Stayer Pro Hunter, the 243, and we have the Remington 243. So let's take a look at the Stayer first. Let's see what kind of joules this has. And again, we're at the 50 yards here. So this has 2,986.2. And now if we switch to the Remington, let's just zoom that in here. This has 2,986.2. And we'll fire the Stayer as well. So these two guns have almost identical power. They have almost identical takedown power. So these are both 243s. Both of these guns have less takedown power than the 7mm08 and the 308, and still the 308 is still the most powerful tier 5 weapon in the game. So again, you could take out any tier 5 animal with these weapons. The 308 is going to take it down the quickest. Right? If you want really good knockdown power and you really don't want to track an animal far, then the 308 is going to be the one for the job. Now, let's just see here with something a little further away with this one. This is 100 yards. So at 100 yards, 2,894. So you're really not losing that much more with 50 more yards. All right, guys, so now we're going to take a look at both of the tier 6 weapons. We have the 300 and we have the 338 Lapua Mag. So let's check out the 300 first here. So at about 56 yards, this has an energy of 4,684.5 joules. That's the 300. Now let's take a look at the 338 Lapua Mag. 6,020. So again, the 300, 4,684, and the 338 Lapua Mag, 6,020. Oh, and now we got the bug where this isn't working. Now, the funny thing was, I did have sound with this gun just the other day, and so now I'm getting the bug, so there must be something that's causing that. So now let's take a look at 200 yards out here. So at 200, about 218 yards out, we have 5,746 joules with the 338 Lapua Mag. And with the 300, we have 4,472. Now, keep in mind, guys, these are both the same tier. So, you know, that kind of makes me think if they put anything bigger in the game, they're going to keep it at tier 6. And that's what that 338 Lapua Mag is going to be. If the next DLC is possibly an Alaska map and we get polar bears or muskox or even like plains bison, then I feel like the 338 is going to be the perfect rifle for that. So, you know what? While we're here, we might as well test both 22s as well. So let me go grab the 22s and we'll see what those are at. All right, so the first 22 we have is the Stinger. So this has 171.8 joules at 50 yards. And then the next 22 we have is the Stayer Zephyr. So let's just, oops, I don't want to do that. We need to zoom in here. So again, this has 171.8. Wait, was that the same? And the 22s are really loud. So let's just check that one more time. This is the Stinger. $171.8. And the Zephyr. Yeah, 171.8. So yeah. So guys, that concludes our little test, and the proof is in the numbers. The 308 is definitely the most powerful tier 5 rifle, okay? It's not the most powerful weapon in the game. It's the most powerful tier 5 rifle, okay? And that's going to come in first, and then we have the 7mm08, and then we have the pair of 243s. And that's what it looks like for your tier 5 weapons. Tier 6 is going to be the 300, coming in at the lowest powered, and the 338 Lapua Mag coming in at the highest powered. And both of the 22s are identical. They're the same exact power, so it doesn't really matter. So the only real options you have are with the tier 5 weapons. Tier 5 weapons, you know, the 300, it is going to have super knockdown power, and if you really don't want to track a long distance, then that'll be your weapon of choice. For tier 6 animals, the 300 is going to be, you know, a great option, but if you really don't care about your hunter rating, if you don't care about getting that 5-star hunter rating, then the Lapua Mag, it'll drop them quick, and it'll drop them quick from a distance. So, yeah, guys, that's pretty much all I have for the video today. Like I said, I seen some people telling me that the 308 wasn't the most powerful tier 5 weapon in the game. And, you know, I did see a lot of people posting on Facebook and in other forums and stuff, just kind of asking about what weapons do they use, what are the best in the game. So I hope this helped you guys out a little bit. As I said, the jewels don't lie. It is what it is. You know, that's how powerful the guns are in numbers. So that being said, guys, we're going to leave this video where it is. I hope you're all having a fantastic day. I hope you did enjoy the video. If you did, don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Guys, we stream Way of the Hunter every Friday night. It's a really fun stream, chilled, laid back, a lot of cool people in chat. And I absolutely love my Friday night Way of the Hunter stream. So if you haven't checked it out, come check that out. We stream around 8 o'clock every Friday night. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time. But until then, happy hunting.